Breaking. NASA has lost all contact with a classified spacecraft carrying material so dangerous that its existence was denied for 11 years. Until now. The spacecraft was 400 million miles from Earth. Its cargo, a biological sample collected from an asteroid, had never been seen before. Within 4 minutes of signal loss, 3 agencies were called. Not NASA scientists, 3-letter agencies, the kind that officially do not exist. This is NASA Secure, we have a breach. Activate shadow protocols immediately. The spacecraft launched in 2020 under a mission name nobody remembers because NASA never announced it publicly. Its real purpose was never disclosed.
When NASA's silence became impossible to hide, 17 news networks breakthrough through stories start mobilizing. We are authorizing. China stands ready to assist. This change world is waiting up.
Asteroid 2019 XS7 was unlike anything astronomers had cataloged. Its chemical signature matched no known element in the entire periodic table.
Anomaly confirmed. Copy. Mission is go.
The sample contains self-replicating organic compounds unlike any biological material ever recorded.
NASA is its own scientist.
It's not possible.
Mr. President, signal from the spacecraft was lost at 2:47 a.m.
What are we looking at here?
The data shows a complete trajectory deviation, sir. Situation room 3 a.m.
Sarah, it's happening.
I'm on my way.
Dr. Sarah Chen had spent 9 years on this mission. When her phone rang at 2 a.m., she already knew what had happened before anyone said a single word.
Then the NSA intercepted something nobody expected. One final transmission from the spacecraft. 3 words that changed everything. It found us.
Classified documents later revealed the sample had begun exhibiting biological activity 48 hours after collection. It was not dead matter, it was alive. NASA ran 2 missions simultaneously that day. The world watched the public one. The classified spacecraft launched 30 minutes earlier from a different pad. Mission logs showed the sample had doubled in mass every 72 hours. By the time of signal loss, the containment vessel was at 94% capacity.
Pressure is critical. We must vent now.
NASA's own science team split into 3 factions. They agreed on only one thing. They had never seen anything remotely like this in 40 years combined.
This is extraterrestrial.
The evidence here. We need more data. The spacecraft carried 5 containment layers around the sample. Mission logs confirmed Layer 4 had developed microfractures at mission day 112. The signal loss was not a malfunction. The spacecraft's AI had initiated blackout protocol autonomously. It had detected a containment breach. The containment breach meant direct contact with the spacecraft hull. Scientists had theorized the sample could integrate with artificial systems. Nobody wanted to test that. For 40 straight hours, the team refused to go home. Dr. Chen later said nobody discussed leaving. It was never even suggested by a single person present. On day 3 of the blackout, radar tracking revealed the spacecraft had changed course. Nobody had sent that command. It was heading directly toward Earth. Space Force activated within 6 hours. 14 nations joined an emergency council. The option nobody wanted to discuss was placed on the table immediately. NSA intercepts revealed Beijing had known about the course change 12 hours before NASA. China had been secretly tracking this classified mission for 3 years. Beijing made an offer Washington had never received before. Complete classified technology sharing for a joint Intercept mission. The threat had united old enemies. The Intercept window was 31 days away. America and China had never cooperated in space. They had 29 days to learn how together. Then deep space telescopes captured the first image. The spacecraft had changed. Something was growing on its exterior that had not been there before. Image analysis confirmed carbon-based filament structures covering 30% of the exterior hull. The sample had escaped containment and reached the outside. On day 11, spacecraft transmitted for exactly 17 seconds. What Mission Control received was not a malfunction report. It was something far stranger. The spacecraft computer had been rewritten. New navigation algorithms had appeared that nobody programmed. Fuel efficiency had improved 40% beyond design limits.
This sample is a dangerous contamination. It must be destroyed.
Scientists split completely. Destroy it and lose the greatest discovery in human history. Allow it to return and risk something nobody could fully calculate. Internal documents revealed 3 scientists had warned about containment failure risk before launch. Their reports were classified and the mission approved anyway. An anonymous NASA scientist went to 3 journalists simultaneously. What they revealed suggested this outcome had been considered possible from the very beginning.
They knew the dangers. I am here under oath and will answer truthfully.
This is a cover-up. The public deserves answers.
Senator, this document is partially classified.
Internal documents revealed 3 scientists had warned about containment failure risk before launch. Their reports were classified and the mission approved anyway. Then a researcher found something buried in declassified Apollo archives. A 1973 classified mission had collected a similar sample. That spacecraft also vanished. 3 missions, 3 asteroids, 3 identical outcomes across 50 years. Someone in NASA had known about this pattern and said absolutely nothing. On day 19, America and China launched simultaneously. For the first time in history, 2 rival superpowers were cooperating on a space mission in real time. Intercept cameras revealed the spacecraft had changed dramatically. 60% of the hull was now covered in structures that resembled no known material. The spacecraft knew the Intercept vessel was approaching. It adjusted its orbit to make docking easier. Whatever was controlling it wanted to be found. The Joint Command had 1 hour to decide. Dock and retrieve, risking everything. Destroy it, losing everything. No simulation had ever modeled this choice.
Redocking is too risky.
Both commanders signed simultaneously. The transmission took 4 seconds to reach the Intercept vessel. Docking sequence initiated. There was no going back.
We have breaking news. A spacecraft is heading to Earth.
Pass the blackout trail.
The government is mobilizing to deny the mission, now had 47 days to explain everything. As the docking arm made contact, the crew transmitted one message before communications cut again. They said,
It is trying to communicate with us directly.
The communication began with prime numbers, then Fibonacci sequences, then something no mathematician on Earth had seen before but instantly understood was intended.
The patterns are converging. It's linguistic.
confirmed, the symmetry is intentional.
Biologically viable to decode the modern the message was very clear.
The message contained coordinates of 3 more asteroids with identical material. It was sharing its location with us. It had been waiting to be found.
Every assumption had been wrong. It was not a contamination risk. It was a message in biological form, left specifically for whoever was advanced enough to find it. The sample cooperated completely with retrieval protocols. Growth stopped immediately when containment was applied. It understood what was happening. The Intercept vessel began its return carrying something that would change every assumption humanity had ever made about its place in the universe. 53 nations contributed to the reception facility. Old enemies worked alongside each other. Whatever was coming home belonged to all of humanity. The final analysis destroyed the last assumption. The material was 4.6 billion years old as our solar system. Someone had left it here for us specifically. The 3 scientists whose warnings were buried testified before Congress again. This time the room gave them a standing ovation before they said a word. Dr. Chen later wrote that the moment she understood the message, she cried for 2 hours. Not from fear, from the realization that we are not alone. Within 18 months, missions were planned to all 3 coordinates. Every space agency on Earth contributed. Humanity had received its first invitation. From 400 million miles away, a small blue dot waited. On that dot, 8 billion people were about to learn they had never been truly alone. The full message has still not been decoded. Scientists estimate they have understood 11% of total content. 90% remains completely unknown. Space budgets tripled in every major nation within 2 years. The discovery did what diplomacy could not, gave humanity a reason larger than its own conflicts.
Today, the sample is studied by scientists from 50 nations simultaneously. In 3 years, it has produced more material science breakthroughs than the previous decade.
The coordinates lead deeper into our solar system than any mission has reached. Whatever left them knew we would eventually build ships capable of going there.
3 words started this. It found us. We know what it is. We know where it came from. But who sent it? That answer is in our next video.
Subscribe to Prime Access 3D for weekly breakdowns of classified operations, space discoveries, and the stories governments declassify only after it is too late to matter.
Somewhere above us right now, a spacecraft carries the answer to humanity's oldest question. We looked up for 10,000 years. Something finally looked back.
It found us. The full classified transcript releases in our next video. Subscribe now. This is the story they never wanted you to know completely.